Mike Lindsley with you here from Rosie's Corner. It is indeed a Fish Friday. Stop on down for your lunch or dinner version, of course, with the French fries, coleslaw, or mac and cheese for the sides, and the pizza wing combinations all day long, hot and cold subs. I'm ordering a couple of turkey clubs right now. Place is unbelievable. Meatball bombers, you name it. Get your stuffed shells. And hey, if you get the pizza wing combos, try the gold fever and the garlic parm in there as well. Rosie's Corner, Route 11 off the Brewerton exit, Bartell Road, right in front of the Brewerton Bridge. A proud ML Sports Platter sponsor. So today is August 11th, and if you know what that means, we're 1 month on the nose from Monday Night Football at the New York Jets, 9/11/2023, and one of the most anticipated openers for either franchises that I can remember. Aaron Rodgers with the Jets, obviously, the Bills still in the Super Bowl contention window, and a lot of people think the Jets are a Super Bowl contender just because they added the 39-year-old Aaron Rodgers. I think they're probably a playoff team, but I'd be careful with the Super Bowl thing because Nathaniel Hackett, and they have a left tackle situation where if that person goes down in terms of Dwayne Brown, they're screwed, and the overall offensive line is And hey, maybe there's a little bit of a hard knocks curse going back years with the Browns and the Cardinals last year and all the rest of the Jets this year. Don't believe in all that, but hey, we can dream if we are fans of other teams. Now, I'm going to get into here a recap of the Bills training camp at St. John Fisher College in no particular order. I thought the Bills had a really good camp in Pittsford, New York. I mean, I think, number one is guys they wanted to have shine in camp to take that next level. Gregory Rousseau was a monster. Dawson Knox was a monster. James Cook was a monster. The rookie Dalton Kincaid was a monster. Remember, Dawson Knox got the big contract, and in addition to that, they go out and get Dalton Kincaid in the draft. Boom. Now you've got two guys at 6'4", 6'5"-ish, 250, 55 pounds-ish, and you can now play a little 11 or 11 and a half, as Brandon Beane joked about, alluded to earlier in the preseason. 12 personnel, of course, 2 tight ends and all the rest. Get Dawson Knox the ball. Get Dalton Kincaid out on the boundary. You've got Diggs, you've got Davis, you've got Sherfield and Hardy. You have a lot of different weapons there, and of course, RB1 should be James Cook, and then right behind him is the pile driver type of a guy, north-south, the Damian Harris element there, the former Patriot. He used to kill the Bills, of course. And then you throw in a Latavius Murray. Who knows if he makes a roster or not. This is a really, really great offense. Last year, for as much as they struggled in the red zone with all those turnovers in year one with Ken Dorsey, where they got a little bland towards the end of the season and then didn't show up against the Bengals, guess what? Go look at all the major numbers in the National Football League offensively. They were number 2 in the entire league for most offensive categories, and they have added to the roster. They're a better team offensively. They're at least on paper, roster-wise, the offensive line appears to be better, and that's where I'm going next. Dion Dawkins at left tackle. He's your franchise bookend tackle. Spencer Brown on the other side. Really, I think Brown comes back nicely as long as his back holds up and all the rest. Dawkins came back a little bit, was still pretty good last year. I think he gets back to his elite form, but they don't have a lot of depth behind those guys. You're going to trust Tommy Doyle? You're going to trust Quessenberry? Please. That is a major concern for me, not having depth at tackle. Brandon Beane's got to maybe address that before kickoff 2023. The guard position, love it. Connor McGovern, they go bring him in at the left guard spot after the disaster of Roger Saffold last year. Right guard Ryan Bates will probably get the nod with, obviously, the youngster in terms of Osiris Torrance from Florida backing him up, and they've got some depth at both positions there, left guard, right guard, and the center, Mitch Morse, is the anchor of the offensive line. He and Allen have a great relationship. However, if he goes down, don't worry, Bills fans, because Ryan Bates can slide right in there. In fact, he said publicly that he feels as comfortable playing center as he does guard. Now, on the other side of the football, Sean McDermott is the defensive coordinator for the Bills in addition to being the head coach, and so he has a ton on his plate. And the defense right now looks like it could be a one-man wrecking ball collectively. My goodness. Von Miller, we're waiting for him to get back from the ACL last year, but look at the depth. Look at the players. Look at Leonard Floyd and look at Gregory Rousseau. A.J. Epinesa had a really good camp. Do you keep Boogie Basham? Maybe. He's still a young player there. You got the 3 technique and Ed Oliver. You got the behemoth guys up front in terms of Tim Settle and, of course, Daquan Jones. Both guys who I thought had tremendous years last year. Daquan Jones was one of the best value picks on defense in any situation in the National Football League last year. How about the linebacker position? Yes, Matt Milano is back. However, the Mike linebacker, like the tackle depth, for me is a concern. No more Tremaine Edmonds. He's in Chicago. And now what you have here is, of course, Terrell Bernard and Tyrel Dodson. Now, Bernard went down in camp yesterday. Looks, though, that Dodson will be the number one Mike linebacker. What do they have behind him? Balin Spector, A.J. Klein. Maybe, and the rookie out of Tulane, Dorian Williams. Maybe you have all those guys mixing in there to help out the position. But, hey, we've heard Dodson be described as a three-down Mike linebacker. I don't know if that will be the case or not, but the Bills certainly have a lot of depth behind him. Corner, they're loaded. You've got Trey White, who looks like Trey White again. On the opposite side, who knows who starts opposite Trey? Maybe it's Dane Jackson. Maybe it's Kyer Elam. They're going to try to mix and match Christian Benford in terms of safety and corner this year probably as well. And we know that the safety position is terrific. Micah Hyde, Jordan Poyer, assuming that they stay healthy. Hyde last year missed the year, of course, with that neck injury, and Poyer had everything under the sun. He was in and out of the lineup constantly in 2022. Behind them, you've got DeMar Hamlin. You pick up Rapp in free agency. I think the Bills are going to be strong again on special teams as well. I think this is about an 11-12 win team this year despite the schedule. The schedule is a disaster. How hard is it? Really hard. 2 against the Jets, 2 against the Dolphins, 2 against Belichick's defense. You got to go at Philadelphia. You got the Chiefs and the Bengals. You got all kinds of primetime games all over the place. You got to play the Jags in London. There are a million difficult games you got to deal with. Dallas this year, the NFC East, the Giants. It's going to be a really, really hard schedule. But like I've said before, yeah, the Bills got to play all those hard teams, but they got to play the Bills as well. It's going to be a fascinating situation for the Bills as the Super Bowl window is still open, but it's shut just a little bit after last year and the terrible effort against Cincinnati in the postseason. And, of course, 13 seconds haunting this regime with Bean, McDermott, Josh Allen, and company, of course, with the Buffalo Bills. But I thought overall a great training camp. Again, going back to the spring, I thought the Bills had a terrific draft as well. And, again, 1 month from today, football. 9/11/2023 in New York City, well, New Jersey, right? The New Jersey Jets host the Buffalo Bills, New York State's team, of course. But I thought the Bills had a pretty good camp. And again, what's the number one goal? No matter if you're the Bills, Jags, Eagles, Giants, Niners, Seahawks, Vikings, Lions, Packers, Chiefs, Broncos, whomever, stay healthy through training camp. Now we have the stupid-ass preseason games. I hate those games. I think they should just wipe them away, but the owners are never going to do that because, cha-ching, they want to make even more money, and I know a bunch of people who are foolishly going to this tomorrow in Buffalo against the Indianapolis Colts. I would play one preseason game. A lot of the superstars, a lot of the elite players in the NFL don't even play anyway. Take a look at Browns-Jets Hall of Fame game. Aaron Rodgers was sitting there on a headset. It's ridiculous. The bigger and more important things are, getting chemistry and cohesion as a team together, and then obviously the training camp situation. Oh, by the way, if you get rid of the preseason, are you fans really worried that you don't have competition leading into the season? Number one, these guys are ready. Number two, a lot of them train during the season anyway. In the offseason, they're constantly doing conditioning. And number three, in a lot of cases, take the Jets, for example, you're facing the best competition probably as you will all year in practice. When you look at Sauce Gardner, a top 5 corner, and Garrett Wilson, a top 10 wide receiver, how many guys are better at those positions in the NFL? Same goes for the Bills when you have Trey White going up against Stephon Diggs. So keep that in mind. Preseason games are absolutely silly. I can't stand them. I will flip on for a few minutes just to see some of the roles for the Bills tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Highmark Stadium. Man, preseason football here, the season here, a month from today. ML Sports Take from Rosie's Corner here in Brewerton. Make sure you get here if you're in and around the area. Right off the Bartell Road exit in Brewerton. They've got the pizza, the wings, the pasta, hot, cold subs. You name it, it's here. All of the salads in the cooler, the drinks, the sides, the desserts. It's all here, as well as Fish Friday today. Get your lunch or your dinner version. French fries, coleslaw, and, of course, mac and cheese are all available on the side. And pick up gift cards for any and all occasions as we move into the fall and holiday seasons as well. As I always tell you, enjoy the games.